Alrighty, hello boys and girls. How is everybody doing? I just recently purchased a Elite Series 2 controller for myself, um, and just thought I'd make a quick little video, impressions, thoughts, and maybe help anybody else out there who is trying to decide whether they should get one for themselves, whether you should get one. So, if you've been in the market, I would wager you probably know a lot of the features, but I'm just going to go quick run through of what it's got. So when you take it out of the box, you've got this nice case, obviously the controller, all your interchangeable sticks and D-pad. Everything just pulls off and pops in really nicely. It's all magnetized. And I'm going to leave the sticks off for a moment. I'm going to switch this back to the circle. I've actually enjoyed using this quite a bit as opposed to the cross, but again, that's a personal thing. You can adjust the tension on the sticks using this little tool here. There's 3 levels: loose, I guess, if you will, or light, medium, and tight. And there's a nice little holder, I guess, for all your parts. Um, when you're not using them, it keeps them all together. The case also has a nice little charger, and it has a little trick up its sleeve that I will get to in just a moment, which is, bam, you can charge it right inside the case. And it also comes with this really nice rechargeable cable. It's USB 3. Um, Everything about this just seems sort of quality and luxurious, and it does feel like a luxury. Um, and let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and put my usual sticks. I like the standard one on the left, like the tall one on the right, and then I should show you. You got your 4 paddles here on the back. You got your trigger stops. You got your full travel, half travel, and I guess maybe a 10th travel. And obviously, all your button functions, trigger functions, can be routed to the paddles, the D-pad, whatever you like. However you would like to do it. You can store 3 profiles on the controller itself, and another 200, I guess, on the Xbox or on your computer, that you can interchange the profiles as you like. I don't know that I would take advantage of that function so much for myself, but I guess it's there if you want it. Which kind of is like a sneak preview into one of the things that I really like about this controller, and that is that you can grow into it. Um, Another thing that goes in that line would be the paddles. So obviously you have 4 of them, and some SCUF and other, I guess, pro controllers only have 2 because most people only use 2. However, if you're doing something like, I don't know, Battlefield or maybe COD, uh, it's nice to have all 4 so that you don't have to take your thumbs off the thumbsticks for any reason whatsoever. They're all right here. There's a little bit of a learning curve if you're like myself and haven't had one of these before to get used to it. They don't really get in the way. One of my biggest fears was that just while I was gaming, I inadvertently hit a paddle. Doesn't really happen. I mean, it has happened, but not very often. Not enough to be an issue. And in fact, I guess when I have done that, it's just been kind of out of, I won't say laziness, as opposed to, and when I mean laziness, I just mean the way I'm handling the controller. Like I put put it off to the side or turn it, tilt it, and I accidentally hit the buttons, or the paddles. All of the buttons have a nice solid, like almost a clickiness about them, and the on button definitely is I don't know if you can hear that, but it clicks on and off. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on here as it's powering up. And then yeah, so you've got this button here in the middle that determines what profile you are using. And another neat little function is, okay, so I've got for profile 1, State of Decay, and I've got the Y button on the lower paddle here, and then I've got my D-pad. You can go both directions, but I've just got it going to the right, I believe, on this, which has been nice for when I am just driving, or I'm kind of setting up what I want to have as like a throwable or a consumable, and I don't have to stop to do that. The second profile I have just open. I haven't really thought what setup or what game I would like to do for that. And then on 3, I've got a game called The Hunter Call of the Wild that I use that for. And for that, I actually, again, only use the 2 bottom paddles. But I use the left trigger, or my aiming trigger, I guess. Sorry about that. I guess I should show this here. On the smallest or shortest trigger stop, and then on my actual trigger, I have it like on halfway. And I forgot to mention, or maybe I didn't, but you can individually adjust the response curve, aggressive, delayed, or smooth, or default for each stick individually, and how much of that curve is applied. And so I've been kind of playing with that, which brings up I don't know if there's ever anything you could do to fix this, but I would set, like, okay, so I did aggressive on my left stick, smooth on my right. And I just maxed them out. And then I would go back and I would back it off to the least, and then just figure out where I want. And it was my point being is that I wish you could just go from game to adjustments for your controller, back to the game, just go back and forth. It's just a small little quibble, but I just thought I'd mention it. Also, something I did forget was this sort of texturized material here. I thought it would be rubberized, but it's not really rubberized. It just is textured. I don't find it to be like extra grippy, but I also don't feel like it's very slippery either. And I've distracted myself from where I was. Let's go back to the profiles. My point with those are that you have these 3 programmed ones. But just like I was saying in the second profile, since I haven't decided how I would like that set up, you can just turn them off and it defaults. So now your paddles are turned off. All of your other buttons and stick functions, trigger functions, all react just like a standard controller, although you can still use the trigger stops. And so it's nice that you can just sort of have this default setting, figure out the game that you're playing, what is really necessary for you and how you would like it. And I actually, I want to go back to these paddles because I was going to say that they are also removable. They just pull in and out. So if you do decide that you only want to use 2 paddles, you can just pull them out and they obviously go in your case. I've been keeping them in there because, like I said, I'm still not sure that I want to just use 2 paddles. And then again, we're going back into the growth. You can really learn what works for you, and the controller allows you to make those tailorings to exactly what feels good for you. So I think that's the basics, and I'll just go ahead and get into my thoughts because that's the real important part, I guess, of the video, and that is should you get one? I say yes, but with some caveats. One, if you're rich, no brainer. If you have 200 USD available and it's not going to put you in the poorhouse, yes. Everything from of initial impression feels quality. Now, of course, longevity, that can only come through time, but it feels like it's going to stand up. It's got a nice weight. It's probably about 2 times heavier than your standard controller, which there's not even an adjustment period. It just feels nice and solid in your hands. And I would wager after a minute, you don't even really notice it. It just feels like a controller. But I will say this. I don't feel like it is a necessary purchase. If you don't have the money, or you just don't see the need, you can do just fine. You have other options. You can get a Series 1 controller. I'm sure they're going to be on sale. You can get Control Freaks to go onto your sticks and give you the height that you find comfortable. I think really the only things that you couldn't do without buying the controller is adjusting the tension for your sticks and programming the response curves on your sticks. And obviously, if you had just a standard controller, you wouldn't have the paddles either. So there are options. If you don't feel like it would be your cup of tea, you can approximate the benefits of this for probably, I don't know, maybe another $40. That being said, I also don't feel like it will make you a better gamer, and this is a very fine distinction, but I think it will help you to game better. If you don't have to take your thumbs off your sticks, you are gonna just be playing more efficiently. But like I said, if you don't have the skills, then if you can't do math, you can't really use a calculator. Calculator isn't going to teach you math. But it does, if you do know math, it allows you to do that more easily. And that's how I would say the same thing with this. It just makes things a lot more comfortable and efficient. But not necessary. So I know that sounds kind of weird. So bottom line, if you have the money, if you can afford it, yes, get a Series 2 Elite controller. I don't think you will feel sorry in the least. If you can't afford one, don't feel bad because you can approximate one. And I think that is all I have to say for now. Maybe in 6 months I might do a recap, let you guys know how it's been holding up. But until then, thank you very much.